Good morning, Pearl Glasgow. Welcome to the live stream broadcast, The Master Key to Riches. Rosa is in the house. I am so honored. Rosa, this is going to be helpful. Judy, look at you, the dirty Southern. All my beautiful peeps. Charlotte is here. My dad is here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to rock this morning because I woke up fired up. And so let me go ahead as you guys go ahead and share. We want to fill up the room because this is going to make an impact. This is going to be a serious topic this morning. And as you can see, how am I, Miss Charlotte? I'm better because you have spent some time with me this morning. Takiata is in the house. Oh my good. The pride of Benbrook, Texas, David Ballou is in the house this morning. David Ballou can kill at least one duck every 7 years of duck hunting. Yes, he's an excellent shot or not. So let me go ahead and flip this screen because today what we're going to talk about in a short period of time is we're going to talk about the master key to riches. Now, this is not my own personal information. This information, let me get this camera set up. Excellent. Okay. So here's the deal, guys. This information came to me because of the vast amount of reading that I did. Thank you for your hearts. Go ahead and continue to share. I appreciate it so much because we want as many people. Hello, Sir Best. Thanks so much for dropping in, Jamie. Baggett is here. Thanks so much. Please go ahead and swipe left or right on your iOS devices to share on that Periscope person. And I always love the hearts because the hearts motivate the speaker to continue to bring great quality. As I go into my message, sometimes I get wrapped up into the message. And so if you respond at the bottom and I don't acknowledge you, I apologize. I will go back and look at the broadcast, the replay broadcast. Brent says, get a rope and a chair. There we go, baby, because it's going to be on. Brent, I promise you, this is going to be valuable information for you, Big Daddy. So for all of you replay broadcasters that are looking at this, welcome to the broadcast. Oh, my goodness. Somebody just put Saints and Tigers, so you know they got that Louisiana connection. And as y'all know, I'm a full-blooded Cajun, so that whole South Louisiana thing is my heritage, and it's who we are. So are we ready to get rumbling? Because you might need a little pencil and paper, because here's the deal. My name is Marvin LeBlanc, and I spend my whole life working on the fundamentals. As some of you know, I own a large insurance and financial services franchise in the state of Louisiana. So all of your services that you need in that area inside of the line of the state of Louisiana, I do that. I also have 3 other companies that are worldwide. I am a coach, and who I really coach the most is I coach experienced salespeople that are stuck in a rut. I coach small business owners of 50 employees or less that don't know how to continue to offer quality services and value in a constantly changing market. So if you have friends, neighbors, co-workers, relatives that are struggling in those areas, that's my area of expertise. I am still on the streets. I'm not a pie-in-the-sky professional speaker that's not on the ropes every day. And so we'll talk to you about that in a little later, Brant. So here's the thing. There was a man named W. Clement Stone. And W. Clement Stone wrote a book. And his book was called The Key to Master Riches. W. Clement Stone was one of the wealthiest men at that time in American history. And W. Clement Stone spent an inordinate amount of time studying and interviewing Andrew Carnegie. Now, let's not get confused. Andrew Carnegie and Dale Carnegie had no relation. Andrew Carnegie was from Scotland that immigrated to America. Dale Carnegie was from Belton, Missouri, a Midwestern hayseed boy. I have been to Belton, Missouri. I have sat and drank coffee with the Dale Carnegie's best friend, childhood friend. So I kind of am pretty sensitive to this subject. But today what we're going to talk about is some advice in an interview that Andrew Carnegie gave. Now, that name Andrew Carnegie might not mean anything to you, but because of his engineering prowess and his design work, he was the owner of United States Steel Corporation. So there's nothing, if you've moved around in America at all in the last week, there's no place that you have gone where the impact of Andrew Carnegie you have not benefited from. So W. Clement Stone is intensely interested in interviewing Andrew Carnegie for a book or a dissertation. And so W. Clement Stone once asked him, Brent, that you don't have to stay poor, Brent, and we can talk offline about that. You don't have to stay poor. We can make better choices so that you don't have to stay poor. When W. Clement Stone interviewed Andrew Carnegie, one of the things that W. Clement Stone was interested in was, what in the world makes you so productive? I mean, the guy would be at the factory before everybody else, and then even though they were at the factory, he was there before everybody else at the factory. He was there after everybody left. What makes him so unbelievably productive, even though he needed some other help to get that big? So here's what Andrew Carnegie told him. And this is key for you right now. Matter of fact, it's so key for you right now. It's more important now than it was back when Andrew Carnegie did his work. And here's the thing. He told W. Clement Stone, every morning I write down the six most important things that I need to get done today. And he thinks long and hard on it. He's very serious about that process. And they get a number, 1 through 6. I don't know why it was 6. I don't know why it wasn't 4. Not the point. The point that I'm trying to make is, I'm thinking, if it's good enough for Andrew Carnegie, United States Steel Corporation, it's probably good enough for Marvin LeBlanc, small-town Cajun boy in South Louisiana. Yeah? Yeah. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I received an email yesterday from one of my followers, because they know a good bit about me and they don't understand how it is that I could possibly get all the things done that I get done. And so I was thinking about why that is. Why is it what is my systems that enables me to get so much more done than the average person? And y'all, to be honest with you, it goes all the way back to the book I read, The Master Key to Riches. I probably read the book like in 1978, 1979. Okay? And so what I'm trying to communicate to you is, the more you read on a daily basis, or the more you're doing audios on a daily basis, if you're in a car, don't be just listening to the music in a car. Like right after this broadcast, I'm going to have a 1-hour commute. I'm going to be busy as hell in that 1-hour commute. I'm going to look at my phone to see if I have a coaching while commuting call scheduled. Because when I commute 1 hour, any of my students that are in my programs, they sign up for coaching while commuting. And it's another productivity idea that, by the way, I didn't think of. It was a student that came up with it. Every great idea that seems to be working for me right now is just a response to helping the people that want me to work with them. So that's a good lesson right there. Listen to what they want and bust your butt to provide that. And so why that coaching while commuting program works is because it's void of any distractions. It's a straight interstate drive over lots of swamps and rivers and tributaries. It's beautiful, especially if you're a Cajun boy. And I'm totally focused in on listening to what my students want to talk about. They could be frustrated in their sales cycle. They could be having problems with their team members. I also have some relationship customers that their challenges are mostly at home. So it could be from any realm or perspective. I'm all in. So the thing that I want you to connect with is that coaching while commuting program is void of distractions. Dale Carnegie's program, pardon me, Andrew Carnegie's program, United States SEAL, is also void of distractions, meaning he wrote down the top 6 things that he needed to get done today. Now, this is going to sting, and I'm sorry, kind of, but he starts on number 1. And when he starts on number 1, the whole world could kiss his butt until he finished and went as far as he could. Hello, success for my soul. Welcome to the broadcast. We're talking about Master Key to Riches, and this will be on my Catch broadcast replay so that you can go back and see every single morsel of a great idea that we're sharing this morning. When Andrew Carnegie would start with number 1, the world was shielded out, and his whole focus that day was doing everything he could to further the cause of the number 1 task or project that was on his list. Now, that's so simple, some of you just missed it. What he did not do was he did not allow for every interruption and distraction. Okay, he wasn't running to the mail. He wasn't doing errands. He wasn't getting interrupted by his team members. He might have a factory. I've seen pictures where his office was on the second, third floor. He could see a factory of hundreds of people that were working, okay? But when he started on number 1, and he pounded number 1 until he realized that there was nothing else today that I could do on number 1. And usually whenever there was nothing left to do, it's because something was delegated and he was now having to wait on somebody to give him back whatever he needed so he could further that project. Then he would go to number 2. Now, why that's important is what we're seeing right now across the world in the digital revolution is this advice right here. The device, this live streaming broadcast is a two-edged sword, meaning it's a shiny object. If you were doing an activity and it was your number 1, but you weren't totally committed to it, and then you saw somebody you really like to follow on Periscope come up, and then you get distracted and you watch that Periscope session, okay, then you weren't committed to doing number 1. And so what happens is everything that we do affects everything else. And so what I am strongly suggesting to you is that you need to be very, very aware of your challenges with what I call the shiny object syndrome. That's okay, Miss Charlotte. I understand. I love you, baby. I love you. And we can talk anytime. That's what I'm here for. Look, listen, I've been there. There's no advice, by the way, that I'm giving y'all that I didn't already screw up before, right? all of y'all realize that. Every one of those hairs are those white hairs are mistakes that I made. But you know what? I've earned the right to have the wisdom by screwing up. And so I'm following Andrew Carnegie. So I'm trying to this morning channel Andrew Carnegie to you, because the advice is so fundamental, but the science is in the ability to do the fundamentals every day. The other thing that I've seen with starting the new year, we're going to have new resolutions. The problem with that is I never hear whoever they call themselves a productivity specialist say, what we're going to do in 2016 is we're going to recommit to the fundamentals and the performance systems that we used in 2015 that really worked well. And so what I'm trying to communicate with you is, don't throw out the stuff that's working well. You might need to get excited again about the things that work well, but everything that's worked well for us in 2015, in my corporations, we don't have a whole hell of a lot of changes that we're going to embrace in 2016 if the systems that we have, and they did, we had one of our best years that we've had, and we had adversity still throughout that year, but we also had solid systems. And so this morning I'm talking to you. Thanks so much for those hearts, guys. I appreciate it. And please don't forget to hit your Periscope person and share with your other followers. I'd really be honored. But what we have is an opportunity to recommit to the things that are working. So instead of writing down all the things you want to accomplish in 2016, may I ask you to write down what worked in 2015, and let's make a recommitment to how can we make what worked even better. Hey, Iva, she's in from Denmark, and she's had my book. The book that I think Miss Ida had was this one right here. And this one right here is the 13 Rules for Solid Business Growth. I mean, you can pick that up for $9.99 at MarvinLeBlanc.com. And this book was merely people asking me, what questions did you ask yourself to get back on track after you lost your house and your business after Hurricane Katrina? And so that book, 13 Rules for Solid Business Growth, at the website, go to MarvinLeBlanc.com, came as a result of people asking me what my thoughts were. So I want to conclude with a recap and say, what is this morning's key, master key to finance, master key to riches? And that is Andrew Carnegie, United States Steel Corporation, his idea that he'd wake up in the morning and he would write down 6 items, 1 through 6. He'd work on item number 1. If it took all day, he'd work on item number 1. And then he would go to number 2. Some days he would get down to 3, 4, or 5. A few days he would get to 6, not that many. And then he would start over the next day. Well, Marvin, if he had number 6 and he never got to it, what happens to number 6? You're missing it. What happens to number 6 is going to stay number 6 until he moves up in importance. Okay, until item number 6 moves up in importance. Okay, it doesn't matter. The key thing is for you to decide what's the most important thing and go do that. Otherwise you're touching 4 and 5 and 6 things, and then whenever you're touching 4 and 5 and 6 things, you end up leaving at the end of the day frustrated as hell, and you didn't get anything done because you just never really totally committed to number 1. So that's this morning's Master Key to Riches. My name is Marvin LeBlanc. As you know, I own a large insurance franchise domiciled and serving all residents of the state of Louisiana. And I also do individual and group coaching. I am a professional speaker. I am a national member of the National Speakers Association. So if your group or organization has a conference or a meeting and you need inspiration and you need street knowledge and you need straight talk, then it might be time to call me, contact me, and have a virtual cup of coffee with Marvin LeBlanc. So all of my information is at MarvinLeBlanc.com. Also, if you go to MarvinLeBlanc.com, I have some leadership quotes up there, and they're free. So go sign up for my newsletter. You'll get the leadership quotes. You're not going to get spammed, and it's a way for us to stay connected. So please go check out MarvinLeBlanc.com. There's like over 200 blogs there and great information. So that's my job, is to serve you. Today is Friday, which is my first day of the week, because I don't believe you should start your week on Mondays. So I start my week on Fridays, and I give myself a 3-day advantage over the people that come in that are moping on Mondays. So I wish you peace. I wish you love. And as always, I wish you gumbo. My name is Marvin LeBlanc. Y'all have a great day. And reach out to me if you want to communicate with me via email. Hey, Ida, thank you so much. Thank you so much for stopping in, Dad. You can reach out to me at my email, marvinleblancspeaker@gmail.com, and we can talk privately about anything that you guys want to. Peace, love, and gumbo. Goodbye, Miss Connie. Bye-bye.